Hi there, I'm Lauren from Go for Growth, and today I'm going to be running through part 1 of the application for North Yorkshire County Council's approved provider list. Part 1 is the potential provider information section, and it is broken down into 3 sections, being 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. Before we do get started on 1.1, I am just going to come to the scoring criteria, where you are reminded to answer the questions in full. To note that every organisation that is relied upon to meet the selection must complete and submit the Part 1 and Part 2 self-declaration. And also note that a provider may be excluded on the grounds of providing insufficient or false information. So coming to 1.1 then. This is where you'll provide your organisation details. So details of your organisation name, your registered office address, your website address. You will see next to a few of the sections under provider details, it does state if applicable. So if they don't relate to your organisation, for example, if you don't have a registered website address, you can leave that section blank before moving on to the next. So section 1.1 is a lengthy section and it will bring you to the end of page 7. Once you've completed this and read over just to ensure you haven't missed any sections, we'll then come over onto additional provider information. So here you are reminded again to answer the questions in full, and you are also given instruction that any fields marked with asterisk must be completed before moving forward. So they are mandatory fields. Now this section will need to be completed for each of the approved provider lists you are applying for. So there are 4 approved provider lists. If you are applying for all 4, you'll need to complete this section 4 times. You will find the template for this at the end of the business questionnaire. There is a reminder that failure to provide all the required information may result in a delay in approving your application. So once you've completed the additional provider information, we can then move over onto section 1.2, which is the bidding model. So here you're asked to provide information regarding your approach to the procurement. Now your answer to the first question in this section will actually decide which of the following questions you then need to answer. So the first question is, are you bidding as the lead contact for a group of economic operators? If you answer yes to this section, you'll then need to complete question 1.2A2, 1.2A3, 1.2B1, and 1.2B2. If you answer no, however, you'll see instructions here that the only question you then need to answer is 1.2A2, and that is if it is applicable to your organisation. So once you have completed the questions relevant to your organisation, we can then move over onto the last section in part 1, 1.3, which is contact details and declaration. This is where you'll provide, as simply as it sounds, your contact details and declare that, to the best of your knowledge, the answers you are submitting and information contained in the document are correct and accurate. That you declare that upon request and without delay, you are able to provide the certificates or documentary evidence referred to in the document. That you understand that the information will be used in the selection process to assess your organisation's suitability to be invited to participate any further in the procurement. That you understand that the authority may reject the submission in its entirety if there is a failure to answer all of the relevant questions fully, or if any false or misleading information or content is provided in any of the sections. And finally, that you are aware of the consequences of any serious misrepresentation. So once you have completed 1.3 then, this brings you to the end of part 1 in the application. Part 2 of the application is going to be covered in a separate video. Now, if there are any specific questions relating to this section that we have covered, so part 1 as a whole, please do contact us. My contact details, that's an email address and contact number, are now going to be shown on the screen. I hope that this has been helpful. Like I say, any questions, please do let me know. And we are going to be running a workshop to cover the full application process in more detail, so keep an eye out for that event.